मुहम्मद व आले फमा कानत इल्ला साअतन व इज़ा हुम बिवलदी अल-हुसैन क़द अक़बला फ़क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या उम्मा फ़क़ुल्तु व अलैका अस्सलाम या वलदी व या क़ुर्रता ऐनी व सब्रत फ़वादी फ़क़ाल ली या उम्मा इन्नी अशम्मु इंदक राहियतन तय्यबतन कअन्नहा राहियतु जद्दी रसूलुल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु नअम इन्न जद्दका व अख़ाका तहतल किस्साए फ़दना अल-हुसैन नहवल किस्साए व क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या जद्दाहु अस्सलामु अलैका या मन इख्तार अल्लाह व ताज़नु ली अन अदख़िल मअकुमा तहतल किस्साए फ़क़ाल व अलैका अस्सलाम या वलदी व या शाफ़िअ उम्मती क़द अज़िनतु लका फ़दख़ला मअहुमा तहतल किस्साए अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद फ़अक़बल इंद ज़ालिका अबुल हसन अली इब्न अबी तालिब फ़क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या बिन्त रसूलिल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु व अलैका अस्सलाम या अबुल हसन व या अमीरल मोमिनीन फ़क़ाल या फ़ातिमतु इन्नी अशम्मु इंदक राहियतन तय्यबतन कअन्नहा राहियतु अख़ी व इब्न उम्मी रसूलिल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु नअम हा व वलदैका तहतल किस्साए फ़अक़बल अली नहवल किस्साए व क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूलल्लाह अताज़नु ली अन अकूना मअकुम तहतल किस्साए क़ाल लहू व अलैका अस्सलाम या अख़ी व या वसीई व ख़लीफ़ती व साहिब लिवाई क़द अज़िनतु लका फ़दख़ल अलीयुन तहतल किस्साए अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले सुम्मा अतैतु नहवल किस्साए व क़ुल्तु अस्सलामु अलैका या बताओ या रसूलल्लाह अताज़नु ली अन अकूना मअकुम तहतल किस्साए क़ाल व अलैका अस्सलाम या बिन्ती व या बिज़ती क़द अज़िनतु लकी फ़दख़लतु तहतल किस्साए अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद फ़लम्मा इक्तमलना जमीअन तहतल किस्साए अख़ज़ा बि रसूलिल्लाह बितरफ़िल किस्साए व औमा बियदिहिल युमना इला अस्समाए फ़क़ाल अल्लाहुम्मा इन्न हाउलाइ अहल बैती ख़ासती व हामती लामहुम लमी व दमहुम दमी युलिमनी मा युलिबहुम व याज़ुलनी मा याज़ुलहुम अना हर्बुल लिमन हारिबहुम व सरिमुन लिमन सारिबहुम व अदुव्वुन लिमन आदाहुम व मुहिब्बुन लिमन अहब्बहुम इन्नहुम मिन्नी व अना मिन्हुम फजल सलवातिका व बरकातिका व रहमतिका व ग़ुफ़रानिका व रिज़वानिका अलैहि व अलैहिम व अज़हिब अन्हुम अर्रिज्स व तहिरहुम तत्हीरा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद फ़क़ाल अल्लाहु अज़्ज़ व जल्ल या मलाइकती व या सुक्कान समावाती इन्नी मा ख़लक़तु सबाअन मबनियतन वला अर्ज़न मदीयतन वला क़मरन मुनीरन वला शम्सन मुज़ियतन वला फ़लकन यदूरु वला बहरन यजरी वला फ़ुल्कन यसरी इल्ला फ़ी महब्बति हाउलाइल ख़म्सति अल्लज़ीना हुम तहतल किस्साए फ़क़ाल अमीनु जिब्राईल या रब्बी व मन तहतल किस्साए फ़क़ाल अज़्ज़ व जल्ल हुम अहल बैतिन नबुव्वति व मादिनु रिसालति हुम फ़ातिमतु व अबूहा व बालुहा व बनुहा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले फ़क़ाल जिब्राईल या रब्बी अताज़नु ली अन अहबिता इलल अर्ज़ि लियकूना मअहुम सादिसन फ़क़ाल अल्लाहु नअम क़द अज़िनतु लका फ़हबत अमीनु जिब्राईल व क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूलल्लाह अल अलियुल आला युहरिक़ु सलाम व युख़स्सुका बितहिय्यति वल इकराम व यक़ूलु लका व इज़्ज़ती व जलाली इन्नी मा ख़लक़तु सबाअन मबनियतन वला अर्ज़न मदीयतन वला क़मरन मुनीरन वला शम्सन मुज़ियतन वला फ़लकन यदूरु वला बहरन यजरी वला फ़ुल्कन यसरी इल्ला लिअजलिकुम व मुहब्बतिकुम व क़द अज़न ली अन अदख़िल मअकुम फ़हल ताज़नु ली या रसूलल्लाह फ़क़ाल रसूलुल्लाह व अलैका अस्सलाम या अमीना व इल्ला इन्नहु नअम क़द अज़िनतु लका फ़दख़ल जिब्राईल व अना तहतल किस्साए अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले फ़क़ाल अबी इन्नल्लाह क़द औहा इलैकुम यक़ूलु इन्नमा युरीदुल्लाहु लियुज़हिबा अन्कुम अर्रिज्स अहलल बैति व युत्तहिरकुम तत्हीरा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद फ़क़ाल अली लिअबी या रसूलल्लाह अख़बिर लिमाल जुलूसना हाज़ा तहतल किस्साए मिनल फ़ज़्ल इंदल्लाह फ़क़ाल अन्नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व आलिहि वल्लज़ी बाअसनी बिल-हक़्क़ि नबिय्यन वस्तफ़ानी बिरिसालति नजिय्यन मा ज़ुकिरा ख़बरुना हाज़ा फ़ी महफ़िलिन मिन महाफ़िलि अहलिल अर्ज़ि व फ़ीहि जमाअुन मिन शियअतिना व मुहिब्बीना इल्ला व नज़लत अलैहिमुर रहमा व हफ़्फ़त बिहिमुल मलाइकतु व इस्तग़फ़रत लहुम इला अन यतफ़र्रक़ू फ़क़ाल अली अलैहिस्सलाम इज़न वल्लाहि फ़ुज़ना व फ़ाज़त शियअतुना व रब्बिल काबा फ़क़ाल अबी रसूलुल्लाहि सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व आलिहि या अली वल्लज़ी बाअसनी बिल-हक़्क़ि नबिय्यन वस्तफ़ानी बिरिसालति नजिय्यन मा ज़ुकिरा ख़बरुना हाज़ा फ़ी महफ़िलिन मिन महाफ़िलि अहलिल अर्ज़ि व फ़ीहि जमाअुन मिन शियअतिना व मुहिब्बीना व फ़ीहि महमूमुन इल्ला व फ़रजल्लाहु अम्मा व ला मग़मूमुन इल्ला व कशफ़ल्लाहु गम्मा व ला तालिबु हाजा इल्ला व क़ज़ल्लाहु हाजता। फ़क़ाल अली अलैहिस्सलाम इज़न वल्लाहि फ़ुज़ना व सुइदना व कज़ालिका शियअतुना फ़ाज़ू व सुइदू फ़िद दुनिया वल आख़िरति व रब्बिल काबा। सल्ले अला
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम कुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद। नारे हैदरी। सलवात। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्लाहुम्मा कुल्ले वलियकल हुज्जत इन्नल हसन सलवातका अलैहि वार फ़ी हाज़िहि साअ व फ़ी कुल्लि साअ वलिय्यन व हाफ़िज़न व क़ाइदन व नासिरन व दलीलन हत्ता तस्कुनु अर्ज़का तौवा व तमत्तु फ़ीहा तवीला। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम इन्ना अतैनाका कौसर फसल्लि रब्बिका वन्हर इन्ना शानिअका हुवल अब्तर। नारे हैदरी। बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अली की बादशाही है, अली इसमें इलाही है, अली की बादशाही है, अली इसमें इलाही है, हर एक मेज़ान में तोला अली मौला, अली मौला, हर एक मेज़ान में तोला अली मौला, अली मौला, ज़ुबान के साथ दिल बोला अली मौला, अली मौला, लगे जब हैदरी नारा अली मौला, अली मौला, जहाँ में गूंज होती है अली मौला, अली मौला, नारे हैदरी। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर्रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिना सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़ज़ूबि अलैहिम वलद्दाल्लीन। नारे हैदरी। पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्लाहुम्मा अक़िलना वलियक़ल हुज्जत इब्न हसन सलावातका अलैहि वला बाय फ़ियाज़ साआ वफ़ी कुल्ल साआ वलियन व हाफ़िज़न व क़ाइदन व नासिरन व दलीलन व ऐना हत्ता तुस्कनु व ज़काता व तम्मतहु फ़ीहा दवीला नारे हैदरी और मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों गम शबीर की दौलत ये बड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों लाश अब्बास पे ज़ैनब कुलसर आई है लाश अब्बास पे ज़ैनब कुलसर आई है मुँह छुपा लो के कयामत की घड़ी है लोगों मुँह छुपा लो के कयामत की घड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों सीना अकबर का जो बर्ची से हुआ है जख्मी सीना अकबर का जो बर्ची से हुआ है जख्मी चोट लैला के कलेजे पे पड़ी है लोगों चोट लैला के कलेजे पे पड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों लाश असगर पे सकीना का संभलना मुश्किल लाश असगर पे सकीना का संभलना मुश्किल तीर की तोक तो गर्दन में अड़ी है लोगों तीर की तोक तो गर्दन में अड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों गम शबीर की दौलत ये बड़ी है लोगों
गम शबीर की दौलत ये बड़ी है लोगों। मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों। मेरी आँखों में जो अश्कों की जड़ी है लोगों। नारे बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात। आ जाओ अब आ जाओ, अब आ जाओ सकीना। बानों की सदा थी के ना तड़पा सकीना। आ जाओ अब आ जाओ, अब मुझसे जुदाई का अलम उठ ना सकेगा। अब मुझसे जुदाई का अलम उठ ना सकेगा। यूं रूठे के मादर से ना तुम जाओ सकीना। आ जाओ अब आ जाओ, फिर प्यार से माँ कह के पुकारो मेरी दिलबर। फिर प्यार से माँ कह के पुकारो मेरी दिलबर। अम्मा को ना इसे तर हाथ से तड़पाओ सकीना। आ जाओ अब आ जाओ, ऐसे घर की जुदाई अलिया के बर की जुदाई। ऐसे घर की जुदाई अलिया के बर की जुदाई। काफी है ना बे तुम मुझे रुलवाओ सकीना। आ जाओ अब आ जाओ, कानों से लहू बहता है रुख सारे नीले। कानों से लहू
बहता है रुख सारे है नीले, ये शकील नाब, ये शकील नाबा से को दिखला सकीना, आ जाओ अब आ जाओ, अब आ जाओ सकीना, बानों की सदा थी के न तड़पाओ सकीना, आ जाओ अब आ जाओ। और मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
और बुलंद नारे सलवात।
इम्तिहाने आशिकी कैफ पाते हैं हुसैन, इम्तिहाने आशिकी में कैफ पाते इंतहाई मुश्किलों में मुस्कुराते हैं हुसैन, लापता इल्ला अली, ला सैफ इल्ला जुल्फ़कार, ला फता इल्ला ला सैफ इल्ला जुल्फ़कार, पढ़ते जाते हैं फरिश्ते, बढ़ते जाते हैं हुसैन, इम्तिहाने आशिकी में।
जब नादा से किसी तरगा सफाई जब नादा से किसी तरगा सफाई ठहरी सुबह आशूर मुहर्रम को लड़ाई ठहरी पूछा ज़ैनब ने के क्या मेरे भाई ठहरी शह ने फरमाया बहन तुमसे जुदाई ठहरी आज प्यारों से मुलाकात गनीमत जानो आज प्यारों से मुलाकात गनीमत जानो ऐ बहन आज की ये रात गनीमत जानो।
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद
मजलिस शहर में मेरा बरसरे मिंबर होना मजलिस शहर में मेरा बरसरे नसीबे का सिकंदर होना मजलिस शह में मेरा जिसको गुलाम दरे हैदर होना। मजलिसे शह में मेरा पहले सोए तो कोई छाँव में तलवारों की, पहले सोए तो कोई छाँव में तलवारों की। इतना सा तो नहीं नफ्से शक उन पे खुदा का धोखा। उनके ईमान पे भी शक उन पे खुदा का धोखा। किस तरह मान लूं दोनों का शह में मेरा और उम्र भर गैरत साको डसेगा ये ख़याल। उम्र भर गैरत साको डसेगा ये ख़याल। बल्वे में खुले सर होना। मजलिसे शह में मेरा
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु। आवाज़े बुलंद सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद। बारे दीगर आवाज़े बुलंद नारे सलावत। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी हैं। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी हैं। अरे करबला देखी तो हम समझे के और भी है। अरे करबला देखी तो हम समझे के और भी है। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी है। सदके उस दिल पे जो हो बे अली से आबाद। सदके उस दिल पे जो हो बे अली से आबाद। इससे बेहतर कोई दुनिया में मकान भी है। इस
इससे बेहतर कोई दुनिया में मकान और भी है। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी है। और नाम शबीर पे बेसाख्ता गिरिया होना, नाम शबीर पे बेसाख्ता गिरिया होना, बाद कल में के ये माँ का निशान और भी है। बाद कल में के ये माँ का निशान और भी है। और बर्छियाँ मार के अकबर को पुकारे आदा, है बर्छियाँ मार के अकबर को पुकारे आदा। शह से पूछो कोई फर्जंदे जवां और भी है। शह से पूछो कोई फर्जंदे जवां और भी है। और फलके पीर तुझे शह की ज़ईफ़ी की कसम, अली अकबर सा ज़माने में जवां और भी है। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी है। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी है। अरे नीले रुखसारों पे कानों से लहू जारी है। नीले रुखसारों पे कानों से लहू जारी है। गर्दने बाली सकी ना पे निशान और भी है। गर्दने बाली सकी ना पे निशान और भी है। और हथकड़ी बेड़ियां पहना के उदू कहते थे। हथकड़ी बेड़ियां पहना के उदू कहते थे। देख बीमार अभी तौके गिरा और भी है। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी है। हाँ करबला देखी तो हम समझे के हाँ और भी है। कौन कायल था सलामी के जिना और भी है। अरे सलवात
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। सारी तारीफ अल्लाह के लिए और दरूद सलाम मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद के लिए। Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a special guest with us. As you all know that the elections are pretty near and the municipal elections will be held on Tuesday, November 7th, 2017. We have a gentleman over here by the name of Philip Holland. He's actually contesting the elections for the city council. I would like to call Mr. Holland, but before calling him, I would just like to explain to Mr. Holland what we're actually doing over here. Mr. Holland, this is a congregation that's held pretty much every Friday, but these special months that we are actually commemorating right now are primarily for the commemoration of the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, who was the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So we have all gathered here for this religious practice, and we do it for about 2 months and 9 days, and then it's a regular feature every Friday, and then some special events. So that's the purpose of this gathering. So before calling upon Mr. Holland, I have a quick introduction of him. He is a US Vietnam veteran, and throughout his professional, civic, and military career, he has been known as a unifier. Mr. Phillips has the unique ability to bring people together from all walks of life and build them into a team and get them to do things together well. He has devoted his life to serving the community and his country. His crowning achievement was that he was actually a part-time letter carrier in New Orleans, and from that position he actually rose all the way to the postmaster of New Orleans. So that's his crowning achievement. His educational background, he has a BS in Business Administration from Southern University of New Orleans. He was a postmaster, he is a campaign chairman of United Way, chairman of Federal Executive Board and the Holland Group. His civic achievements are he's on the board of zoning appeals, he's the Citizen Budget Review Committee for Lilburn, he's on that board too. From a religious affiliation perspective, he's associated with the Salem Missionary Baptist Church. His Distinguished Alumnus Award was the Southern University Award that he received in 1999. And he's actively pursuing the business investment in Lilburn, Georgia. His slogan is a time for change, and his objective is to make Lilburn a destination for fine dining, restaurants, boutique, business, and make Lilburn a community of unity. So with these words, I would like to request Mr. Philip Holland to please come and deliver a few words.
Thank you. I want to thank you for honoring me to come, to your place of worship. I want to thank your honorable leader, Wasi, for Wasi, who invited me to come, and I appreciate it. It's an honor for me to be here. I want to thank the captain for bringing me here. I've met him. God has plans where he put people in different positions. A couple months ago, I wasn't even planning on running for city council, and it was laid on my heart to run for city council. And when I was, how God will put certain people in your life. And I was walking the street one day, just going from house to house, and I ran into Saeed, saw me, and he approached me. He said, "Are you Mr. Holland?" I said, "Yes, I am." And we talked, and he said, "I want to help you." So he came to my house the next day. I invited him to my house, and he came, and he had the captain with him and his wife. And from then on, like the last week and a half, we've been together. My thing, I'm known as a unifier of people. One of the things I want to do in Lilburn, I feel that it's a time for change. and I'm running a change campaign. With Lilburn, it's been the same way for years. Some people don't want to change. I have been here 12 years. Just to give you a story on myself, in 2003, before a lot of these youngsters were born, I retired as postmaster of New Orleans, and I bought a strip shopping center. It was 20,000 square feet, about 125 parking spaces. This was in like 2005, I bought this. And what happened was that 25 days from grand opening, I was 85% occupied. 25 days before grand opening, Hurricane Katrina came and wiped me out. It wiped my business out. And I ended up coming here because my daughter was staying here. You know, it's something when a dad has to leave where he is and stay with your children. Okay, and I've always been dad, been in charge all the time. So I stayed here, and I decided to stay in Lilburn. I went back to New Orleans and rebuilt my house, and I decided to stay here. But I have been here 12 years, and my opponent has been here about 40 years, and he considers me an outsider. Now, do you know, how does it feel to feel like an outsider? Okay, and for years, you cannot say I'm an outsider because this country belongs to everybody. This is God's country. Okay, this is God's country. It doesn't belong to man. This is all God's country. This is God's world. Okay, so the opponent says, well, he's only been here 12 years and I've been here all my life. But that doesn't matter. This is God's country. My thing, I want to be the type person to unify the community. I think all of God's children are created equal. And I feel we should all be treated fairly. And if I become, and I know that it's God's will that I will become a city council member, I will treat everyone fairly. I know that this particular mosque has had problems. A few years ago, you had major problems. I could see it on TV. And I'm not going to make a lot of promises to you, but whatever happens, if I become city council, it will be done fairly. It will be done fairly. It would not be based upon a religion or race or anything. Whatever I do will be done fairly. Just to let you know that. So I mean, if you come before me, we have never had a person of color on the city council of Lilburn. Right now, the mayor, the 4 city councilmen, there's nobody of color. There's, you know, when you have other ethnic groups, there's only one ethnic group represented there. We have to make a change. But we have to make a change. You have to always, change comes, you know, when you make a change, you don't make a change through, you have to be smart about making changes. You can't because I could not make a change in Lilburn by being an angry black man, okay? Like you could not be that way. We have to be smart. We have to do it in God's way. And I know meeting Captain, meeting Saeed, it was all part of God's plan. Me being here tonight is all part of God's plan. I am a man of God. I might not be the same faith you are, but we all serve one God. We all serve one God. And I'm here, and if I become elected, and I could do it with your help, we could make it happen. My door will always be open to deal with you, to talk with you, to be there for you, and to serve you with integrity, with honor. No other way, with integrity and honor. And I thank you for having me here tonight. I'm sweating right now. I never sweat like this. I'm hot. But I thank you for having me here tonight. It is an honor And if I become elected, you could always call me to come back and say a few words. I would not be a stranger. I would not be a stranger. I will be a friend. I will be a friend. I have my neighbors, and you could talk to my neighbors. On one side of me, my neighbor is from Bangladesh, has been my friend for 12 years. Abu and Rushner, good friends of mine. Across the street, we have Kabani, who's from Pakistan, a good friend of mine. Talk with my neighbors. Tell them that they'll tell you I'm the same. You can come to my neighborhood on Browning Way. Talk to my neighbors. You can go down the street and talk to the Patel family from India. They could tell you, hey, Phil's the same guy. I'm not a phony. I'm all right. They'll tell you, hey, he's been away for 12 years. If he's been acting a different way for 12 years, he's a good actor. Okay? They will tell you that I'm a good person, and I want to win this election because I feel this election is about change. It's about bringing people together. I am the type person that will unify people, not divide people. I will unify us. And everybody, all God's children are equal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Philip. Thanks for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, today, as you all know, that... Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, वसी भाई, राज भाई. मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि मैं आप सबका तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि आपने हमारी इस रिक्वेस्ट को, इंक्लूडिंग माय फ्रेंड, आपने हमें मौका दिया कि मैं कम्युनिटी के लिए कुछ कर सकूं. अल्लाह गवाह है, मैं उस बात से कायल हूँ जब मुझे ये पता चला कि वहाँ पर हमारे लोगों के साथ डिसऑनेस्टी हो रही है. From that day I remember I am trying to find out the way. Believe me, I am still was trying to find out the way, because everybody knows that what is going on in United States right now. I don't have to explain to you. You can see TV, you see the newspaper, everywhere they are together to kick out Asian people, especially Pakistani. And I do not avoid that thing. I am living this country. I got same right what white has. I got same right what black has. I got same right what Asian. Everybody is even. Just like that, money is green, not red. Green. In God we trust. I went to every mosque and convinced them, please, this is the time to wake up. This is the time to wake up, because we are already done. 35 years is enough time, but we have to check what they will do when we gone. What they will do, then we will gone. Even though they have qualified, they got the degree, but because foreigner, go back to Pakistan. Who the hell you are to tell me all these things? No, we cannot avoid that. Come on, any field you want to go, we will go to. And we feed you, we defeat you. Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Shukriya. Once again, thank you very much for being here, Mr. Philip. So without further ado, I just would like to introduce, today we have a young speaker, and it's pretty fitting that for a young speaker we should have somebody who is compatible with that person to be the master of ceremonies and to call upon him and to do the rest of the formalities over here. And for that I have the honor of calling on Dr. Jasim Rizvi to please come and just deliver the keep the proceedings from here. Thank you.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. सारी तारीफ अल्लाह के लिए, दुरूद और सलाम मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद के लिए. मोमिनीन और मोमनात, Azadar Imam Hussain. As you know, Dar-e Abbas and Anjuman and Kamkar Abbas has a regularly scheduled program throughout the year for the Wiladat and Shahadat of our Aimma Masumeen. Similarly, throughout Muharram, we hold regularly scheduled programs for Ashra-e Ula, Jallum, and especially during the weekends, we hold regularly scheduled programs on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. To continue this continuation of programs, this weekend as well, meaning tonight and tomorrow, November 4th, and Sunday, November 5th, we are conducting another 3 Majlis series. And for this, we actually have a special guest of honor, Mr. Bilal Rizvi, Molana Bilal Rizvi from Dallas, Texas. A young and upcoming Molana. The first time I actually heard Bilal myself, it was in Chicago. I went last year during Muharram. And at the time, I went to a house majlis with my brother-in-law, Zaki Bhai. And there I met Bilal for the first time. And at the time, he read only 15 or 20 minutes of majlis. But immediately I was impressed with him. Immediately, with his eloquence of speech, the wealth of his knowledge, and his hubbe al-ibad. We actually had the pleasure of getting the chance to hear him again. Me, my dad, my brothers, at Aliyun Waliullah Center in Chicago this March. And at the time, he read a beautiful speech about Bibi Fatima Zahra, salamullahi alaiha. And again, I was impressed. So when Zulfiqar Bhai, our General Secretary, asked me about if I know any English Molanas, I immediately thought of Bilal. And I requested Zulfiqar Bhai to please contact him. About Bilal Rizvi, he actually was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. There he did his primary schooling. He also completed his undergraduate studies at University of Dallas there in biology. Then he actually moved to Chicago, where he did a Master's of Medical Sciences at Loyola University. He has actually been reciting Majlis for the past 4 to 5 years. He started during college, and since then he has basically, once people started to hear him, he has gained more and more fame. People started listening to him more. And he has traveled the whole US and even other countries. For example, this year he has been to LA and Chicago and even England for the first Ashra. And a great thing about him is this year, inshallah, he plans to start Hawza in Najaf after Arba'in and complete his studies there. So with these few ashar, I would like to invite Bilal Rizvi to the mimbar. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. दुनिया में नहीं कोई 72 से बराबर, दुनिया में नहीं कोई 72 के बराबर, हैं छोटे बड़े और बराबर के बराबर, हैं छोटे बड़े और बराबर के बराबर। खुश कितनी नजर आती हैं कुरान की आयत, खुश कितनी नजर आती हैं कुरान की आयत, बैठी हों अगर मिदहते हैदर के बराबर, बैठी हों अगर मिदहते हैदर के बराबर। और हमने तो सुना था यार, हमने तो सुना था ये रसूलों की सफ़े हैं, हमने तो सुना था ये रसूलों की सफ़े हैं, इनमें तो नहीं कोई भी असगर के बराबर, इनमें तो नहीं कोई भी असगर के बराबर, इनमें तो नहीं कोई भी असगर के बराबर। और कुछ रोज यूं ही खिदमते मौला में रहे तो, कुछ रोज यूं ही खिदमते मौला में रहे तो, जिब्रील भी बन जाएंगे खंबर के बराबर, जिब्रील भी बन जाएंगे। Just with these share, I would like to request Molana Bilal Rizvi to please come up. And I would especially request the youth to please take heed to what he's saying, pay attention, and I'm sure everybody will be impressed as I was.
Asant, one salawat for our brother. رحم الله من قرأ سورة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على إمام القبلتين ونبي الحرمين وأفضل الثقلين وجد الحسن والحسين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الصادقين المنتخبين الميامين. أما بعد، يكون الله في كتابه الكريم وقرآنه المجيد وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. For the protection of the believers and for the hastening of the reappearance of the master of our time, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. 50 years is the amount of time which passed from the passing of Rasulullah until the day of Ashura. That prophet who changed the most backwards of people into a community which had individuals like Salman and Miqdad and Abu Dhar. In 50 years, that Islam which he preached, you find that the inward and the esoteric and the batin realities of that Islam, it began to disappear. That on the outward form they had Islam, but those realities of Islam, they were no more. That what bigger proof is it? That within 50 years they had gathered to kill the grandson of Rasulullah. And Imam Zainul Abidin, he would state that not just did they gather to kill the grandson of Rasulullah, that each of those 30,000 had gathered to kill Hussein in order to gain nearness towards Allah. That is the reality of that society. But you find it is through the remembrance of this Hussein that those principles, they become to be re-enlivened. Because when Imam al-Hussein, he stands up, he makes it clear that my rising is not a personal rising. Because never within the riwayat you say that the Imam says, I, Hussein, am standing up against Yazid. But when you look within the riwayat, it says, Man mithli la yubaya'u mithla. That a person like me will never stand up against a person like him. That Karbala was not only about personalities, Karbala was about principles. And the principle which the Imam shows is that if you recognize me, if you recognize those who are like me, then you'll begin to see that there is a divide. One is the side of haqq and one is the side of batil. And anywhere where the dhikr of Sayyid al-Shuhada it is, you'll begin to see those principles, they begin to enliven. Because the haqiqat and the reality of you on this farsh-e-aza is this, is that nobody sits upon the farsh-e-aza unless it's the du'as of somebody which brings you here. And it's not the du'as of anyone, it's the du'as of that mother of Hussein, Fatima al-Zahra, salamullahi alayha. That's why for this majlis, the topic which I picked for tonight is a narration from none other than the mother of Imam al-Hussein Zahra. And that narration is a narration which each of you have heard maybe even thousands of times within your life. And that narration is Hadithul Qissa. That you find Hadithul Qissa, that what is the reality of Hadithul Qissa. You know, the beauty of Hadithul Qissa, it lies within the versatility in Hadithul Qissa. As in how many things that you find are common, that when you go to a funeral you'll hear it, then when you go to a wedding you will hear it. That when somebody is born you will hear it, when somebody passes away you will hear it. In occasions of happiness you'll hear it, and occasions of sadness you'll hear it. But this is that reality within Hadith al-Qissa, that the times and the circumstances may change, but the recital of this narration, it remains constant. That what is this Hadith al-Qissa? You know, the reality of Hadith al-Qissa is this, is that when we examine and dive into this Hadith, you find morality and akhlaq is within Hadith al-Qissa. You find the fadail of Ahlul Bayt is within Hadith al-Qissa. You find the cosmological position of Ahlul Bayt is within Hadith al-Qissa. You find our maqsad and purpose in this world is found within Hadith al-Qissa. But this only comes out when you analyze the Hadith, because often the reality is this, is that we recite these narrations, that we'll recite them and we'll recite them and we'll recite them. But oftentimes we don't reflect over the narrations. And the Quran, when you look within the Quran, it says reflection, because it's reflection what allows one to benefit from it. You know, the Quran, it says about people, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا, that they have hearts but they don't comprehend. لَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا, but they have eyes but they don't see. لَهُمْ أَذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا, they have ears but they don't hear. Not at the physical sense, but in the sense that the comprehension is devoid within those people. And you know, the Imam, he shows that if you know one narration, it is better than just memorizing or reciting a narration. Our sixth Imam would say, Hadithun tadrihi khayrun min alfi hadithin tarwihi. That the one narration, that one hadith which you understand is better than 1,000 that you narrate. Why? Because when you just narrate a hadith, there is a gap between the hadith and the application of the hadith. But when you understand the hadith, you took something which was on paper, you understood it, now you know how to apply it within the society that you live in. This is the power of Hadithul Qissa. And the sixth Imam would say that whenever you want to know the manazil and the position of our Shia, then do it based upon the understanding of our hadith which they have. That the sixth Imam, in a famous narration, that if you want to know the position of our Shia, then look at their understanding of our hadith. And this is why tonight we'll analyze Hadith al-Qissa. But before I come to the analysis of this hadith, the question comes up is that what is the source of Hadith al-Qissa? That if I sat here and I asked you today that what is the source of Hadith al-Qissa, are you going to say to me that I heard my father say it, who heard his father say it? Or do you have an actual source for Hadith al-Qissa? Now when it comes to Hadith al-Qissa, there are two versions. One is a general and the other is that version which we are accustomed to. The general version of Hadith al-Kisa is when those five, they gather underneath the cloak. And Ayat al-Tatir chapter 33 verse 33 is revealed. You find this version of the Hadith is known as mutawatir. You know, there's discussions about mutawatir, what it means. Some said that when you have 10 different chains leading to one hadith, it's mutawatir. No, others, they said that when a hadith is narrated so much that there is no doubt within the hadith, you call that hadith mutawatir. When you look at this narration, even within the non-Shia works, it has reached the stage of tawatur. What do I mean? When you look, for example, within the non-Shia works, Ibn Abbas narrates this hadith. This is in Al-Hakim al-Nisapuri's Mustadrak ala Sahihain. You find Aisha narrates this hadith. You find Salma narrates this hadith. You find Abu Sa'id al-Khudri narrate this hadith. You find Malik bin Anas narrate this hadith. You find Abdullah bin Jafar, they narrate this hadith. So you find there is no doubt within Hadith al-Kisa. But the question and the version which I'm analyzing tonight is that version which we know, which starts with An Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. You know, people, they discuss the chain of narrators, that when you have this version, what is the chain of narrators of this version? You know, there was an alim in Qum, Ayatollah Muhammad Hussain Shirazi. He passed away in 2001. Ayatollah Muhammad Hussain Shirazi, he writes a book called Min Fiqh-iz-Zahra. Within this book, Min Fiqh-iz-Zahra, Ayatollah Shirazi, he presents the hadith, the chain of narrators from himself all the way up to Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari. And this chain, when you look at the ulama within this chain, you will find that these individuals were the pillars of Tashayyo. These were those individuals who spread the teachings of Ahlul Bayt. That when you look within Hadith al-Kisa, you find an alim like Shaheed al-Thani narrates Hadith al-Kisa. You look at Muqaddas al-Ardbili, who is called Muqaddas by Imam al-Zaman, narrates Hadith al-Kisa. Shaheed al-Abbal narrates Hadith al-Kisa. Allam al-Hilli narrates Hadith al-Kisa. Ibn Faiz al-Hilli narrates Hadith al-Kisa. Shaykh al-Mufid narrates Hadith al-Kisa. Shaykh al-Qulayni Sahib al-Kafi narrates Hadith al-Kisa. Abu Basir narrates Hadith al-Kisa from Jabir bin Yazid al-Ju'fi, who narrates from Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari, who narrates from Fatima al-Zahra. You see, even when you come to a hadith, even before you analyze the hadith, there is an entire science to the chain of narrators. Because not everyone was honest. There was a time period within history to lower the position of Ahlul Bayt. You would find fake hadiths would come up because that was the media of that time period. But in some of these hadith, you find the logic, it's not there. For example, I'll give one hadith to lower the status of Amir al-Mu'mineen, which is found within other sources. A man, he narrates that I was in a gathering with the leaders of Quraysh. Number one, he wasn't from amongst the leaders of Quraysh. And he's saying only the leaders of Quraysh were there. Then he says in a gathering where only the leaders of Quraysh were there, Rasulullah whispered into the ear of Abu Talib saying, say the kalima, say the kalima, say the kalima. So I presented the first problem, that you're not a leader from Quraysh, yet you're saying everyone is from the leaders. But I also say this, that when Rasulullah is whispering into the ear something which is against Ali, you heard it. But when he was yelling on the day of Ghadir saying Man kuntu Mawla, you didn't hear him say Man kuntu Mawla, Fahaza Aliyun Mawla. Hadith al-Kisa. And tonight's analysis will take place in a number of stages. Number one, what is the reality of the hadith of the Prophet and how does it apply to Hadith al-Kisa? Number 2, who was Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari and how is he a trustworthy narrator of hadith? Number 3, what ethical lessons can we derive from hadith al-Kisa and what is the value of the cloak, because the hadith is named after the cloak? Number 4, why were Ahlul Bayt described through Zahra within hadith al-Kisa? And what dua of Imam al-Sadiq highlights the words from this hadith? And number 5, what are the benefits of hadith al-Kisa mentioned within hadith al-Kisa? Because this is that hadith. The fadail of reciting this hadith are mentioned within the hadith. That this is something which is very rare amongst the transmissions. And we'll analyze this topic and come to a conclusion about hadith al-Kisa. Now, before you come towards hadith al-Kisa, the first angle which I analyzed was the chain of narrators within hadith al-Kisa. But before we analyze any hadith, it's important to understand the haqiqat and the reality of the hadith of Rasulullah. You know, whenever you have a hadith of the Prophet, the hadith of the Prophet can be divided into 3 categories, and the hadith of any ma'soom for that matter. The first category is qawlul ma'soom. The word of a ma'soom is a hadith. The second category is fi'lul ma'soom. The action of a ma'soom is hadith. The third category is taqreero, that even the silence of a ma'soom is a hadith. That I'll give an example. This is not a real example, but it's an example. That if Rasulullah says you can ride a camel, it becomes jayaz. But if you see Rasulullah riding a camel, this becomes a hadith, it's permissible. No. Even if somebody rides a camel in front of Rasulullah and Rasulullah stays quiet, it becomes a hadith. That this is that reality of a ma'soom. And you know what the beauty of the hadith of the Prophet is? The beauty of the fact is this, is that the entire religion of Islam, it replies on the character of Rasulullah. That the entire religion of Islam, it relies on the character of Rasulullah. As if Rasulullah told you it's a hadith, then it becomes a hadith. If Rasulullah says it's Quran, it's Quran. That who has the audacity to go to Rasulullah and say it's not Quran? This is the logical proof for isma and infallibility. That when you have infallibility, oftentimes we argue through textual sources, but there are 2 types of arguments. One is textual, the other is intellectual. That if the Prophet had mistakes within his character, then we wouldn't know if he is making mistakes within the revelation and passing the message of Allah. This is logic when it comes towards it. This is why every action of the Prophet was a hadith, and it was under the command of Allah. As Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. That's why when the Prophet acts, when Hassan and Hussein are upon the back of Rasulullah, that this incident where Rasulullah is in sajda, it's been written for Imam Hussein and Imam Hassan. But when this incident it happens, don't just say it is a grandfather showing his grandchildren love. No, it's the Prophet of Allah under the command of Allah extending the sajda. And then when Zahra walks into the room and Rasulullah stands up out of respect, don't say it's a father showing respect towards his daughter. It's the Prophet of Allah under the command of Allah standing up for Zahra. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala. These are the narrations of Rasulullah. And you find Rasulullah, when it comes to any hadith from the Prophet or the Ma'soomeen, each letter, no, each dot is worthy of analysis. That when I say something, you know, the order may matter, it may not matter. But when Rasulullah and the A'imma and the Ma'soomeen say something, even the order in which they say it, it has value and it's worthy of being analyzed. Now I come towards this hadith, where it says, An Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari an Fatimat al-Zahra alayhi salam. When you look at this narration, you find even upon just this line, An Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari, ulama, that within this commentary which I mentioned earlier of Ayatollah Shirazi, he writes 6 pages just about this line. that just about the line on Jabir bin Abdullah, he writes 6 pages. Why? Because the other narrator of this hadith is Zahra. Zahra is Ma'soom. There is no question about Zahra. That's why the analysis is of Jabir bin Abdullah. That who is Jabir bin Abdullah? You know, the days of Arba'een are coming. Jabir is the first Zayir of Imam al-Hussein. You know, people, they used to debate and they used to discuss that why did Imam Sajjad not get this honor? That why did Sayyida Zainab not get this honor? After all, Imam Sajjad is the son of Imam al-Hussein. Sayyida Zainab is that one who had love for Imam al-Hussein. Some ulama, when they came forth and they explained it, they said there was wisdom in that the first Zayir of Imam al-Hussein was the Sahabi and the companion of Rasulullah. Because there is a school of thought that made the action of the companions a hujjat within Islam. Even according to that school of thought, there is no doubt within the visitation of Hussein, because the first visitor of Hussein was a companion of Rasulullah. And you know, when Jabir, you know, what can I say about the ziyarat of Hussein? You know, in Kamilu Ziyarat, when it comes to the authenticity of this book, Ayatollah Al-Khuyi had a very strong opinion that either all or most of the narrations within this book are sahih. Within this book, there is a narration which says that the one who does the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein, man zara al-Hussein arifan bihaqqihi, knowing his rights, is like the one who has done the ziyarah of Allah fawqa al-arsh. That the one who has done the ziyarah of Hussein is like the one who has done the ziyarah of Allah fawqa al-arsh. So what does this mean? That you find the arsh of Allah is the highest reality. That if you want to reach the highest realities in spirituality, then you do it through that door known as Hussein. You do it through the ziyarah of Hussein. That's why each of these places, each of our muqaddasat, each of them has a name. Medina is Munawwara, the enlightened. Makkah is Mukarrama, the honored. Najaf is Ashraf, Kazmain is Sharifain, Mashhad is Muqaddas. But when you look at the title of Karbala, Karbala is Mu'alla. The only other place which has been called Mu'alla is either the Arsh of Allah or the Karbala of Hussein. Now listen to the hadith. The one who does the ziyarah of Hussein is like the one who has done the ziyarah of Allah fawqa al-arsh. This is that reality, and this is who Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari was. The first Zayir of Imam al-Hussein. And when Jabir, he comes to the grave of Imam al-Hussein, he says, As-salamu ala khamis ashab al-kisa. That peace be upon the one who is the 5th of Ahlul Kisa. Then you know this Jabir was that companion, either him or another individual. History has a dispute that they were the ones who lived the longest after Rasulullah. That look at the wisdom of Zahra. When Zahra, she chose a narrator for Hadith al-Kisa, she chose that narrator who lived the longest of the companions of Rasulullah, so they could deliver this hadith to the maximum number of individuals. And you know what proves the memory of Jabir bin Abdullah? Rasulullah, he says to Jabir, "Oh Jabir, my son Hussein will have a son by the name of Zainul Abidin. That Zainul Abidin will have a son by the name of Muhammad al-Baqir. Oh Jabir, you'll live until the time period of that Muhammad al-Baqir." I say, Ya Rasulullah, Imam Hussein is in the cradle. Imam Zainul Abidin isn't born yet. You're telling this to Jabir. You find this Jabir, near the end of his life, he had become blind. When he became blind, he would sit within Medina. He would say, Al-Baqir, 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 until a man comes to Jabir. He says, oh Jabir, come with me. When Jabir goes, he goes to the house of Imam Zainul Abidin. When he goes to the house of Imam Zainul Abidin, you know, when you become blind, your other senses, they become better. He says, I sense that there is somebody within this house that walks in the same way as Rasulullah used to walk. They say, oh Jabir, this is that Muhammad whose title is Al-Baqir that you have been waiting for. Jabir, he holds Imam Al-Baqir. You see, even Jabir, even in the end of his life, there was no accusation against the memory of Jabir. That in the time period of Rasulullah told Jabir to deliver his salams to Imam al-Baqir. But Jabir, even in the end of his life, he never forgot to deliver those salams towards the Imam. This is Hadith al-Kisa. Now, Hadith al-Kisa, how does it begin? دخل علي أبي رسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت عليك السلام. You see, Rasulullah, this is ethics within the Hadith al-Kisa. That when you enter the house, you say salam. And you know, it says what? It says faqultu. You know, the fa in Arabic, it signifies something with immediately, that you're doing it immediately. That as soon as Rasulullah faqala, that as soon as he entered it, he said salam, and as soon as he said salam, Fatima to Zara faqultu alayka salam, she replied immediately. You know, this is the beauty of the Arabic language, the depth within it. That thumma, it means after also, but there is a delay. But when you say fa, it's immediately. That's why on the day of Ghadir, it was man kuntu mawla fahaza aliyun mawla. Not man kuntu mawla thumma aliyun mawla. That Rasulullah was saying that whoever's master I am, with urgency make Ali your master. That make Ali your master. You find that this Hadith al-Kisa, it continues. Rasulullah says, قَالَ إِنِّي أَجِدُ فِي بَدَنِي ضُعْفًا. That within my body I feel weakness. You know, Rasulullah, he says the word badan. There's a difference between the word badan and jism. Jism, it includes the head, whereas badan, it doesn't include the head. That the body of Rasulullah can feel weakness, but the mind of Rasulullah never has any sort of weakness. That you look at how specific the wording of Rasulullah is. And you know, the Prophet, he says, I feel weakness within my body. I say to you that when you're ill, where do you go? You go to your own home, you go to the hospital. But when Rasulullah feels sickness and weakness, he comes to the doorsteps of Fatima to Zahra. That at the doorsteps of Fatima to Zahra, Rasulullah comes. Then he says to Zahra, Itini bil kisai al-yamani, faghattini bihi. He says, bring me that Yemeni cloak. Zahra brings the Yemeni cloak. Then she says, I was looking at Rasulullah, and his face was lit up like a moon when it's at its peak. That, you know, there are hadith would say that looking at people is ibadat. For example, looking at the face of an alim is ibadat. Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen would say that once every 40 days somebody should visit an individual who is alim-e-Rabbani. That alim-e-Rabbani is that alim who practices upon his knowledge. You know, there's an incident with Ayatollah Bahjat. There was an individual within Qom. When he was within Qom, he was walking to an area of immorality for the respect of the mimbar. But you find that he decided that instead of going there, I'll go to the shrine of Ma'suma-e-Qom. When he goes to the shrine of Ma'suma-e-Qom, Ayatollah Bahjat goes into the shrine. He thinks to himself that, you know what, I'm going to shake the hand of Ayatollah Bahjat. He says, when I went to Ayatollah Bahjat, I raised my hand to shake his hand, but he pulled his hand back. But instead of shaking my hand, he looked at me. When Ayatollah Bahjat, he looked at me, I noticed that day I read Salatul Asr. Then I read Salatul Maghrib, then Salatul Isha. I noticed that the sins which I were doing in my life, I stopped doing those sins. I started doing my wajibat. That alim-e-Rabbani. Now let me give you one hadith. They come to Amir al-Mu'mineen. They say, Ya Ali, who is greater, Salman or your son Abbas? How do you answer this? Who is greater, Salman or your son Abbas? Amir al-Mu'mineen says that if my son Abbas looked at the people of the world, he can turn the people of the world into Salman. That if Ayatullah Bahajat, if the look of Ayatullah Bahajat can change the life of an individual, then what about the look of Abbas, about whom the 6th Imam says, Inna Ammi al-Abbas, my uncle Abbas has Nafidul Basira, that the one who has that piercing insight, that what do you say about that individual? So you see, even looking at an individual, it has an impact upon your soul. Because, although we look constant and nothing is changing, it's the same way as this light bulb is constant in front of me. That it looks constant, but new electricity is always coming within it. In the same way, although our soul may look constant, we're always changing because we take the environment which is around us. That's why even looking at certain things has an impact upon your soul. That's why it's stated that looking at an alim is ibadat. That looking at your parents with love is ibadat. Looking at the Mus'haf of the Quran is ibadat. Looking at the Kaaba is ibadat. No, looking at the face of Ali is ibadat. That you see the impact that even the sight it has. But you find these Ahlul Bayt, they gather underneath the Qissa. And it is based upon this Qissa that we have the name of the Hadith. And this is something to think about. That if this Majlis is going on, this Majlis is in Dar-e Abbas. I am reciting the Majlis. Somebody else recites the Noha. When somebody is describing the Majlis, they don't say that Majlis in Dar-e Abbas. They don't say that Majlis where I recited the Majlis. They don't say that Majlis where Fulan recited the Noha. But they said that Majlis which had a microphone in it. You would think that this is something strange. Either that person has lost it, or there's something special about the microphone. Now I say that hadith which has Rasulullah, with Amir al-Mu'mineen, with Zahra, with Sayyida Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. It's not called Hadith al-Hasan, it's not called Hadith al-Hussein, it's called Hadith al-Qissa. That what is the reality of this Hadith al-Qissa? You find the haqiqat is this. Is that this Qissa, this Yemeni cloak is a symbol. In the way that the Ahlul Bayt are the symbol like the Ark of Nuh. Matulu Ahlul Bayti fi ummati ka matali safinat Nuhin. You find this cloak is a symbol. It symbolizes what? It symbolizes the unity and the purity of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. That under the Qissa, all 5 of them had gathered under the Qissa. And Jibreel says, Ya Rabbi wa man tahtal Qissa. That who is under the Qissa? Fakhruddin Razi, he wrote that Jibreel descended upon the house of the Prophet over 1,000 times. I don't remember the exact number. But whatever it was, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I say, Ya Jibreel, you've already come to the house of Rasulullah. Why do you have to say, Ya Rabbi wa man tahtal Qissa? You find one angle is this, is that when one noor is there, you can see that light. That when you have the sun, you can see one ray of the sun. But if you look at the sun itself, you can't see it. In the same way, when all 5 of them gather underneath the cloak, you find that Jibreel has to say, Ya Rabbi wa man tahtal Qissa. But no, another explanation is this. Sometimes you know the answer, but you like to hear it from somebody who is higher than you. So Allah can describe who Ahlul Bayt is. And when Allah describes who Ahlul Bayt is, He says, Hum Ahlu Baytin Nabuwa wa Ma'dunur Risala Hum Fatimatu wa Abuha wa Ba'luha wa Banuha. Who is this Zahra? That Rasulullah is there. Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, but the markaz and the center point of Ahlul Bayt is Zahra. One explanation, there are many explanations you can give. One explanation is this, is that this verse of Tathir, this verse was for Zahra. In what sense? It's for all of Ahlul Bayt, of course. But in what way is it for Zahra? You find Rasulullah is a prophet. The fact that Rasulullah is a prophet and has an authority, you find that is enough for the proof of his infallibility. Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein are imams. The fact that they are imams, this is enough for their authority. But now there is Fatima to Zahra. When the verse of Tathir comes down, there is no doubt within the infallibility of Zahra. But no, another reason is this. People, they debate who is Ahlul Bayt, who is not Ahlul Bayt, that Fulan is Ahlul Bayt and Fulan is Ahlul Bayt. Allah, He makes Zahra the markaz of Ahlul Bayt. That if you're mahram to Zahra, you're a part of Ahlul Bayt. If you're non-mahram to Zahra, don't say that you're Ahlul. That's why the wives aren't Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, because a wife can be divorced. But when it comes to the relation between a daughter and her father, even if the heavens and the earth, they come in between, they can't break this relationship apart. That's why the narrations, that when Salma, some narrations they say, when Salma, she says to Rasulullah, can I enter the cloak? Rasulullah says, oh Salma, you are upon khair, you are good, oh Salma, but you are not in the level of Ahlul Bayt, oh Salma. This is who these Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam are. Zahra is that center point. And you know, there's a hadith of the 6th Imam which echoes these same words. The Imam says that whenever you are in difficulty, ask through this dua. Say, Allahumma inni as'aluka bi Fatimata wa abiha wa ba'liha wa baniha wa sirril mastawdihi fiha. He says, whenever you're in difficulty, say, oh Allah, I ask through the right of Zahra, the father of Zahra, the husband of Zahra, the children of Zahra, and that secret within Zahra. You know, we understand what father, husband, children mean. But what is that sir and that secret within Zahra? You know, the ulama, they've discussed. When they discussed, they came forth with different conclusions. One group of scholars, they said that the sir within Fatima is the ilm of Fatima. Why? Because the narrations, they state, when Zahra was going through difficulty after the death of Rasulullah, an angel would come down. He would tell Zahra that events of the future. Amir al-Mu'mineen would write those events, and it was compiled in the Mus'haf of Fatima. They said that this Mus'haf is the sir. No, a second group, they came forth. They said what? They said that the sir within Fatima is that famous hadith which says to Rasulullah, Allah says, Ya Ahmad, lawlaka lama khalaqtul aflaq. That if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't create the universe. Walawla Ali lama khalaqtuk. And if it wasn't for Ali, I wouldn't have created you. Walawla Fatima lama khalaqtukuma. He says, if it wasn't for Fatima, I wouldn't have created the both of you. Why? Because when Allah created us, He created us with a purpose, for His ibadat, for His ma'rifat. You need a prophet to spread that message. Then you need the imam to protect the message. But the connection between nabuwat and imamat is Zahra. That's why you find when you look at the fadail of Ahlul Bayt, you can divide the fadail in many ways, but one way of division are those fadail within the house and outside the house. Those fadail within the house, the greatest ayat is the ayat of Tathir, and the greatest ayat of those fadail outside the house is the ayat of Mubayhila. In both of them, Zahra was the central point. Why? Because when you look on the day of Mubayhila, when Rasulullah, he comes out, in his arm is Imam al-Hussein. He's holding the hand of Imam al-Hassan. Behind him is Zahra. Behind her is Amir al-Mu'mineen. You know, if I can change my wordings, upon that day in front of Zahra was Nabuwat. Behind Zahra was Imamat. In the way on the day of Mubayla, Zahra connected Nabuwat and Imamat. In the system of the world, Zahra is the connection between Nabuwat and Imamat. This is who Zahra is. Zahra on the day of Mubahala. You know, they said to Rasulullah, they said to Rasulullah, Ya Ali, they said to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, on the day of Mubahala, why did you come out after Fajr and before the rising of the sun? They said, Ya Rasulullah, after Fajr, before the sun rises, Rasulullah says it's because Zahra was with us. The world needed to see that Zahra was going. But at the same time, there was the hijab of Zahra. That Zahra gives an example to the women of Ahlul Bayt. That you can make a difference in the world, but protect your hijab as well. This is the example of Zahra and Sayyidah Zainab within the world. So you find this was that second opinion about that sir within Fatima, that it was that hadith that she connects. But no, the third opinion which ulama they gave, the third opinion which they gave is that Imam al-Zaman comes from the lineage of Zahra, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah sharif. Hadith al-Kisa. You know, this topic is a topic for Ashra, which I'm trying to recite in one majlis. Only three more points, and then I'll come towards the end. When you look at this hadith, you find time and time again, there are lessons which are coming from this hadith. For example, when Imam Hassan comes in, then Imam Hussein comes in. Zahra, she says the same thing to Imam Hassan, the same thing to Imam al-Hussein. She didn't differentiate between her children. She said, Assalamu alayka, ya qurrata aini wa tamarata fu'adi. That she says this to both Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein. But she didn't differentiate between these two Imams because there is no differentiation between the two. That's why Rasulullah would say, Hadani imaman kama uqada. That these two are my imams, whether they are sitting, whether they are standing, whether it was Karbala or the Sul of Imam al-Hasan. Both of them saved Islam according to their time period. You find you continue with this hadith time and time again. But then that point comes near the end of the hadith. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Ya Rasulullah, what is the fadail and the virtue of this hadith? Rasulullah says, وَفِيهِ جَمْعٌ مِّن شِيعَتِنَا وَمُحِبِّينَا. You know, I'll mention the difference between a Shia and a Muhib. Because Rasulullah differentiates between the two. They must be two categories. He says, وَفِيهِ جَمْعٌ مِّن شِيعَتِنَا وَمُحِبِّينَا. ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلا أن يتفرقوا. That the first benefit which they receive is that rahmat and mercy descends upon them. That when a majlis for Ali Muhammad is there, don't say that you're gaining nothing from the majlis. That even if you don't remember the majlis, you find the mercy of Allah is coming in the majlis. That the malaika, they surround you. They ask for your istighfar until you leave the majlis. You know, the hadith says, وَمَجْتَمَعَ أَثْنَانِ, that no two people gather, jalasan, that they sit together, إِلَّا وَطَالِتُهُمَا مَلِكٌ يَسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُمَا, that no two people gather and sit doing the dhikr of Ali Muhammad, except for the third is an angel that asks for their istighfar. that Hadith al-Kisa, it's mentioning these virtues. Then you find, then after that, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he asked a second time to Rasulullah. One answer wasn't enough. He says, Ya Rasulullah, tell me again what are the virtues of this hadith. Rasulullah says, وَفِيهِ جَمْعٌ مِّن شِيعَتِنَا وَمُحِبِّينَا فيهم محموم إلا وفرج الله هما ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غما ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. That there is no one who is distressed except Allah takes that away. There is no one in sadness except Allah takes that away. There is no one who needs du'as except that Allah, He answers those du'as. You see, with the way the world is today, people, they feel pain, that this is a time period where many have anxiety, many have sadness. But Ahlul Bayt, they've given us a recipe. That recipe is the dhikr of Allah, the dhikr of Ali Muhammad is that solution towards that sadness within the hearts. That of course there is a reality. There are mental illnesses are a real thing. But when you have the regular ups and downs within life, it's this dhikr which keeps an individual steady upon that path. And what can I say about these Ali Muhammad? You know, within this Hadith al-Kisa, after the five had gathered underneath the cloak, you find Jibreel says, Oh Allah, do I have permission to go down and be the sixth of them? Allah says, Oh Jibreel, you have permission. But you find even that Jibreel, even despite having the permission of Allah, when he comes, he says, Ya Rasulullah, give me ijazat to enter. I say a day had come when they entered the house of Zahra without that permission. You know, tonight I was thinking what musibah to recite upon this night. But according to some riwayat, the day which just passed was the shahadat of the 3.5-year-old daughter of Imam al-Hussein, Sakina. That what is this musibah? You know, the musibah of a daughter for her father, you don't understand. You don't understand. You know, Abdul Muttalib would say, that have 10 sons but have one daughter. Why? Because your wives, they can get remarried after you. Your sons, they take the inheritance. But it's that daughter which sits there except for nothing but the pain within her heart. That's why Rasulullah would have pain when Zahra would see him. You know, when Rasulullah was returning from Taif, when he's returning from Taif, he's covered in blood from the top towards his feet. He would say to himself, my daughter Zahra Khatija has just passed away. That what will my daughter Zahra think? You see, when Rasulullah, he comes back, Zahra, she begins to wipe the blood off her father. This is the pain of a daughter, that after the passing of Rasulullah, Zahra would sit by the grave of her father. She would say, Subbat alayya masaibun. لو أنها صبت على الأيام سرنا لياليها. That musibah, it befell me, that if it befell upon the brightest of days, it'll turn into the darkest of nights. But this is the first daughter. I have to recite the daughter of Imam al-Hussein's musibah. But you know, there was also one more daughter whose father had a lot of pain for her. That was Sayyidah Zainab. You know, when Amir al-Mu'mineen, he moves his center point from Medina to Kufa. He says, oh people of Kufa, go inside, for my daughters are coming through the streets of Kufa. You know, Amir al-Mu'mineen. And you know, I recite Masaib in length, that I'll take my time when reciting Musibah. That these are the days of Arba'een are approaching us. You know, as they entered inside Kufa, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he would speak to Zainab. He would say, oh Zainab, this is the door of Kufa. Then they would walk, he would say, oh Zainab, this is the bazaar of Kufa. Then he would say, oh Zainab, these are the alleyways of Kufa. Sayyidah Zainab, she said, oh my father, why don't you tell this to Abbas? Why don't you tell Muhammad al-Hanafiya, I'm going to stay within the house, I'm not going to go in the streets. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, oh Zainab, it'll be this Kufa, Zainab. Your hands will be tied, Zainab. You'll be taken through the body.
The pain of a daughter, what can I tell you about the pain of Sakina? You know the pain of Sakina, it starts on the day of Ashura. When the Imam, he bids his final farewell. You know, Allam al-Majlisi, he narrates that I wanted to write what the greatest musibah of Hussein was. At times I thought it was that arrow going in the chest of Akbar. At times I thought it was the arms of Abbas being cut. At times I thought it was the body of Qasim being broken into pieces. But as I was thinking, I fell asleep. When I fell asleep, I was in Karbala. I was in the shrine of Hussein. When I was on the mimbar, a person, he comes in. He said, "Oh Majlisi, Zahra has told you, recite the final farewell of Hussein." You know, on the day of Ashura, Imam al-Hussein, when he goes into the tent of Imam Zainul Abidin, Imam Zainul Abidin, he sees his father how on the face of Imam al-Hussein was the blood of Ali Asghar, on his arms was the blood of Abbas, on his shirt was the blood of Ali Akbar. He says, "Oh Baba, Aina Ammi al-Abbas, where's my uncle Abbas?" The Imam says, "Qad qutila." Then he says, Aina Akhi Ali al-Akbar. He says, "Where's my brother Ali Akbar?" The Imam says, "Oh Sajjad, qad qutila." He says, "Oh my son Sajjad, how long will you keep asking me? No one is left from amongst the men. It's either just me or you." You find the Imam, he leaves the tent. He gets upon Dhul Jannah. All of the riwayat, they say, "Panadara ila yamina wa shimala." The Imam, he looks towards his right. He looks towards his left. He says, "Oh Akbar, oh Abbas, when you got upon your horses, I was there to help you. No one is here to help me upon this day." As he was saying this, Sayyida Zainab, she comes out of the tent. She says, "Oh Bhaiya, Zainab is still alive." That as long as Zainab is there. You see, Sayyida Zainab, she helped the Imam upon Dhul Jannah. The Imam, he gets on Dhul Jannah. Forgive me, my voice isn't giving with me. The Imam, he gets on Dhul Jannah. Dhul Jannah, he doesn't move forward. The Imam says, "Oh horse of my grandfather, why don't you go towards the Maqtal? This is the final time." Dhul Jannah, he points towards his feet. When he points towards his feet, what does he see? The Imam sees his daughter holding the leg of Dhul Jannah. She was saying, "Oh Dhul Jannah, don't take my father towards the Maqtal. Anyone who's gone towards the Maqtal hasn't come back." The Imam, he sits on the ground. Sakina says, "Oh Baba, where are you going?" The Imam says, "Oh Sakina, I'm going to get water, oh Sakina." She says, "Oh Baba, after my uncle Abbas went, I don't want water anymore." Then she says, "Oh my father, can you sit on the ground?" The Imam, he sits on the ground. She says, "Oh Baba, can you lay on the ground?" The Imam lays on the ground. What did Sakina want? She lays on the chest of her father. I've left all the musibah. You find it was Sham-e Ghariba. You know, upon Sham-e Ghariba, Sakina, she would run from one tent to another tent. Shimari would hit Sakina across the face. You know, there was an alim. There was an alim, he went to Sham. He told me this incident personally. When he was in Sham, he would hear that there was a reciter by the grave of Sakina. When this reciter was there, he would say one line and the entire crowd would begin to cry. Then he would repeat that line. Everyone would begin to cry. He would repeat that line. He says, "I wanted to see what that reciter was saying. When I went closer towards him, I found out that he kept saying that on Sham-e Ghariba, Shima but he slapped Sakina in such a way that the direction of the face of Sakina had changed. That this is Sham-e-Ghariba. You know, a point came on Sham-e-Ghariba when the kurta of Sakina was on fire. Hamid bin Muslim says, I went up to her. I said, let me put the fire out. She says, oh man, I'm from the household of Ahlul Bayt. You are non-mahram to me. Hamid bin Muslim says, I said to her, oh Bibi, is there anything I can do for you? She says, oh man, tell me which way is Najaf. He says, what do you want to do in Najaf? She says, I hear that my grandfather Ali lives in Najaf. I want to go towards Najaf. That this is that musibah of Sakina. That from Karbala to Kufa, from Kufa to Sham. You know, when they were taking the heads towards Sham, Khuli would carry the head of Imam al-Hussein. A point came on the route to Sham when Khuli, he dropped the head of the Imam. When he dropped the head of the Imam on the ground, he wanted to pick the head of the Imam, but the head of the Imam wouldn't lift. He said to Imam Zainul Abidin, he said, oh Ali ibn al-Hussein, why does the head of your father not lift off the ground? The Imam says, oh my Aunt Zainab, go find out why this is happening. When Sayyidah Zainab, she begins to look, she finds that Sakina wasn't there. That Sakina had fell behind. Sayyidah Zainab, she goes and looks for Sakina. When she goes and looks for Sakina, she sees Sakina in the lap of a lady dressed in black. Sayyidah Zainab, she takes Sakina from her. She wants to thank the lady. The lady looks at Zainab. She says, oh Zainab, do you not recognize your mother Fatima, oh Zainab? When Hussein left Medina, I am the one who went with Hussein. I've left all the musibah. You know, when they were within that prison in Sham, one night, the riwayat, it says that Janab Sakina, she goes to sleep. In her sleep, she sees Sayyid al-Shuhada. She sees her father. She says, oh Baba, after you, they took the earrings off my ear. Oh Baba, after you, Shimar hit me across the face. She says, oh Baba, don't leave me again. When she wakes up, she begins to cry. Yazidi says, who is that person who is crying within the prison? They say it's the daughter of Hussein. He says, why is she crying? They say she misses her father. Yazid says, then why don't we send the head of her father? He puts the head of the Imam within a bowl. He covers that bowl. He sends it to Sakina. When Sakina, she sees the bowl, she says, oh man, after Karbala, I don't feel any hunger anymore. She removes the bowl. She sees the head of her father. She says, oh father, who is the one that cut? One wasila. You know, there was a scholar by the name of Ayatollah Muhsin al-Amali within Sham, within Syria. He narrates, it's narrated, that his son Yusuf al-Amali, he was seen hitting his head against the grave of Janab Sakina. When he was hitting his head against the grave, a man comes up to him. He says, oh Sayyid, why are you hitting your head against the grave like this? The son of Ayatollah Muhsin al-Amali, he says, when my father was the marja, there was a gatekeeper to the shrine of Sayyida Zainab. His name was Sayyid Ibrahim al-Damishki. Sayyid Ibrahim al-Damishki had 6 daughters. One night, one of his daughters saw Janab Sakina within her dreams. She said, there is water within my grave. My grave needs to be re-leveled. You find Sayyid Ibrahim, when his daughter told him the dream, he says, no, this is not permissible to dig up the grave. grave. But then his second daughter saw the same dream, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, until one night, Sayyid Ibrahim al-Dimashqi, he sees the daughter of Imam al-Hussein, Sakina. She says, "Oh Sayyid, I sent you a message through your daughters. Why didn't you reply towards that message?" Sayyid Ibrahim al-Dimashqi, he goes to Sayyid Mohsin al-Amili, the Marja of the time. He says to him that this is my dream. Sayyid Mohsin says, "Go towards the grave, it needs to be re-leveled immediately." When he goes towards the grave, they begin to dig the grave. A point comes when those who were digging the grave, they said, "Everyone step back, for this is the body of a Sayyidah. Only a Sayyid can go towards the grave." When Sayyid Ibrahim al-Dimashqi, after he comes out of the grave, he falls on the ground crying. They say, "Oh Sayyid Ibrahim, why do you cry like this?" He says, "I cry because of how Mazloom my Imam was." He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "My Imam, he didn't even have a kafan to put upon his sister. He buried his sister in that shirt in one of those shirts which he used to wear." I say we ask through the right of Imam Zainul Abidin that wherever the followers of Ahlul Bayt are in difficulty, give them help within these times. Wherever they're facing any trials, material, spiritual, physical, help them. Ya Allah, protect those who are protecting the shrines of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Give us the opportunity to go to the ziyarah of Ahlul Bayt and to follow the footsteps of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and hasten the reappearance of the master of our time, Matam Hussein.
Sakina
सिर ले जाओ एडे बाबेदा चुप कर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई वो सिर ले जाओ एडे बाबेदा चुप कर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई ऐलान होया शाम वाले जिंदाना बिच ऐलान होया शाम वाले जिंदाना बिच बड़ा रोंदी सी बची जेड़ी ओ मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई हो सिर ले जाओ एडे बाबेदा चुप कर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई सामान रिहाई मिल गई पर ऐनू नहीं सामान रिहाई मिल गई पर ऐनू नहीं कड़ो लाश अजी जिंदान बिचों बाहर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई वो सिर ले जाओ एडे बाबेदा चुप कर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई कुछ दार आए हो शामी अनु शबीर दसर कुछ दार आए हो शामी अनु शबीर दसर जो रोंदी सी किते अज मेरी दुख तर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई आए कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई हाय कैदाच रो रो के सकीना मर गई या हुसैन 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 या हुसैन
या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन चादरों का नाम सुनकर दो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम, जज़ाकल्लाह, सब जवाब दीजिए। रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। वाह जाबा कह रही थी सैयदा की लाडली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुन, जज़ाकल्लाह, शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर, जज़ाकल्लाह, ते अली शाम के दरबार में। कुर्सियों पे कातिलाने शाह थे बैठे हुए, साये दीवार में थे सब हरम लेकिन खड़े। बावफा को ढूंढती थी दुख्तरे शेरे जली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम लेकर शाम के दरबार में। वाह जाबा कह रही थी सैयदा की लाडली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। शिम्र देखा तो सकीना सहम कर रोने लगी। शिम्र हो जा दूर फिजा चीख कर कहने लगी। खौफ से मुरझा रही थी बाग इस्मत की कली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर सो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम, जज़ाकल्लाह, सब जवाब दीजिए। शाम के दरबार में। वाह जाबा कह रही थी सैयदा की लाडली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। तश्त में बाबा के सर पर जब पड़ी उसकी नजर अपने जख्मों की रही ना फिर सकीना को खबर। दौड़कर बाबा की जानिब लाडली बेटी चली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। चादरों, जज़ाकल्लाह,
रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। हुक्म हाकिम ने सुनाया मार दो बीमार को, इस जगह ही कत्ल कर दो काफिला सालार को। गिर पड़ी आबिद के ऊपर हाय नाजों की पली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। कौन है ज़ैनब पुकारा जिस घड़ी फिरौन शाम, हाय गुर्बत कह के उठा था मेरा कैदी इमाम, अश्क फूं के रो रहा था शाह का बेटा अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में, चादरों का नाम सुनकर रो पड़ी बिनते अली शाम के दरबार में। या हुसैन या हुसैन
आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ, किश्त आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ, किश्त आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ। क़त्ल शब्बीर भी अब्बास भी अकबर भी हुए, कट गए आन मोहम्मद के भी मक्तल में गले, लाशाए इब्न हसन हो गया पामाल जफा आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ, किश्त आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ है आराम। क़त्ल शब्बीर भी अब्बास भी अकबर भी हुए, कट गए आन मोहम्मद के भी मक्तल में गले, लाशाए इब्न हसन हो गया पामाल जफा आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ तीर जब असगर मासूम की गर्दन पे लगा देती थी खैमे के दर पे खड़ी बानों सदा बिन तेरे चैन मिले कैसे मेरे माह लका आराम कहाँ आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला छिद गई मश्क सकीना लबे दरिया अफसोस बेकफन खाक पे है शेर का लाशा अफसोस प्यासे बच्चों का कोई चाहने वाला न रहा आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ छिन गई सर से रिदा जल गए असबाब तमाम बाद शब्बीर नमूदार हुई कैसी ये शाम खून कानों से बहा बची का दामन भी जला आराम कहाँ आराम कहाँ है आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ है शहीदों के सरे नौ किसना कैद हराम एक दो का नहीं सीने में बहाते का है गां बेड़िया पहने हुए लाग़िरो बीमार चला आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला कोई मारा गया तलवार से नेज़े से कोई लाश मक्तल में किसी दुल्हा की पामाल हुई हो गए बाजुए अब्बास अलमदार जुदा आराम कहाँ आराम कहाँ किश्ते आलाम में ज़ैनब को भला रो रो कहती थी सकीना मेरे अम्मू आओ मुझको मारे न लई आके इन्हें समझाओ क्यों नहीं सुनती हूँ देती हूँ तुम्हें कब से सदा आराम